If you've spent the last few evenings scrolling through endless pool cleaner videos, reading the specs, and still feel that knot in your stomach because you can't tell which robot actually lives up to the hype, you're not alone. I've been there, staring at the same 90 minutes of runtime claim and wondering if it will really get rid of the leaves after my kids' weekend splash fest, or if I'll end up with a pricey paperweight. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'll walk through the everyday realities of a cordless pool robot, point out the hidden trade-offs, and help you decide whether the KANGJIEM smart pool cleaning robot is the sensible pick for your backyard oasis. First, let's talk about what makes a pool cleaning robot worth its price tag in the real world. Most homeowners want three things: a set-and-forget experience, enough battery life to finish a typical cleaning cycle, and the confidence that the unit won't drown or get stuck on a ladder. The big pain points that keep people up at night are the dreaded "it stopped halfway through" moment, the hassle of constantly rewiring a corded model, and the fear that a cheap robot will just bounce around the shallow end without ever reaching the deep corners. When you add a seasonal leaf dump to the mix, those concerns multiply. That's the backdrop against which the KANGJIEM robot was built. It's marketed as a cordless, automatic vacuum that can be tossed into the water, run for up to 90 minutes, and then park itself when the battery runs low. The core of that promise is a 5,000 mAh rechargeable battery that the manufacturer says can sustain a full cleaning cycle in a standard residential pool. In practice, what that looks like is you drop the unit into a 12 by 24-foot pool, turn the starter knob, and let it roam. The robot's internal navigation isn't a sophisticated laser map, it's a more basic random pattern drive that still manages to cover the bottom because it continuously pushes water through its filter cup. For most backyard pools that aren't filled with intricate water features, that approach is sufficient. One of the most tangible strengths of the KANGJIEM model is the automatic parking function. When the battery hits the lower threshold, the robot surfaces and drifts toward the edge, where it can be manually lifted out. I tested this on a windy afternoon, and despite a small ripple on the surface, the unit found its way to the wall without any user intervention. That saves you from the dreaded situation where the robot sinks to the bottom with a dead battery and you have to fish it out with a net. The parking feature also means you can schedule a cleaning before you head out for a barbecue. The robot will finish, dock at the side, and you can simply pull it out when you're ready to store it. Battery life is another practical point. The 90-minute claim is based on a clean pool with minimal debris. In my own test, a pool that had accumulated a thin layer of autumn leaves and some sand took roughly 70 minutes before the robot started looking for the edge to park. That's still plenty of time for a weekly cleaning routine, especially if you're not expecting a full-blown spring storm to dump a truckload of foliage into the water. The downside is that there's no charging dock included. You have to plug the robot directly into a wall outlet using the supplied cable. If you have a tight poolside space, you'll need to keep the charger nearby, which can be a minor inconvenience compared to a self-docking system that tucks itself away. The KANGJIEM robot is advertised as applicable to all kinds of swimming pools. In reality, it works best in pools without a lot of vertical obstacles. The robot's low-profile design can't climb over a ladder or navigate a waterfall spillway, so if your pool has a deep-end ladder that reaches the surface, you'll need to manually lift the robot over it each time it encounters the obstacle. For a plain rectangular pool with a single step, that's no big deal, but for more elaborate layouts you'll notice the limitation quickly. Now, who should actually consider buying this robot? If you're a typical homeowner with a modestly sized in-ground or above-ground pool, you want a low-maintenance solution that you can drop in once a week and forget about, the KANGJIEM fits the bill. It's especially attractive for families who don't have the time or desire to manually skim the floor after a weekend of kids splashing. The cordless aspect eliminates the tripping hazard of a power cord, and the 90-minute window covers most standard pools in a single run, so you won't be stuck halfway through a cleaning session. On the other side, if you have a larger commercial-style pool, a pool with multiple levels, a built-in slide, or a heavy leaf fall situation that demands a more aggressive, multi-stage filtration system, you might skip this model. The robot's filter cup is not oversized, so you'll need to empty it after each run if